Vinod Sharma of HDFC Securities has a whole host of ideas that he's outlined for us. Vinod, let's start off with Sun Pharma. You have a strategy there this morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Sonia.
Morning.
Let me first wish all your viewers and your team a very happy 2016, because this is going to be my last show for the current year. And although the next year is a leap year, my sense is that the markets would take a giant leap. So it will turn out to be a leap year for the markets as well.
Okay.
And Sun Pharma would be the pick of the lot. Essentially because in the next year it is one stock which is going to see a very, let's say, high growth in terms of earnings. Whatever consolidation that it wanted to, let's say, benefit out of Ranbaxy approval would now take place in 2016. But for the time being, for the current series also, I have a strategy on this, and I'm suggesting to buy the 800 call at around 11 rupees, stop loss at 7, and with a target of around 20. This is one stock which has moved up 6% in the current settlement, although the positions have been trimmed. So I expect positions to be gradually built in this particular stock.
Okay. Actually, we have still a couple of calls of Bhavin which we haven't gone through. Bhavin, you have a buy on BPCL as well.
Well, the only surviving hero out of the massacre that we had in last a couple of months or so. So a gross outperformer, the OMC's BPCL has time and again showed us the strength that, in any case of a pullback, it seems to hang on. 900 is the level that we've been watching out for, and if it breaks, chances are that it might have broken the momentum, but then it holds on to it and gives us another courage to take yet another trade. Taking a trade here with 885 as a stop loss and being a little ambitious with it, chances are that at this expiry you might actually see prices going as high as 980.
Sell call on Cipla today?
Underperformer, our statistical models are also not very favoring the sector. Cipla has seen a rising 3 on a daily chart, and somewhere giving us enough reasons to go short on with 650 as a stop loss, looking at the swing low target of about 620.
Okay. Now, I know, Bhavin, you prepared us for a possibility that there will not be too much of in terms of gain.
Geez, Bhavin, you have a sell call on Just Dial as well this morning. Take us through that.
Well, a secular bear trend, actually. We've not been seeing any encouraging moves from Just Dial. Yes, one can't rule out that, after such a fall, the chances of fierce pullbacks are there. But in yesterday's trade, we could see a bearish engulfing taking place, and that actually gives us an indication that chances are that we might just resume the downturn that we were in on a major basis. So taking a chance there because of favorable risk reward, 880 thereabouts can be kept as a stop loss, and targets can be as deep as 800 rupees.
All right. Thanks for that, Bhavin, for all your picks. Prakash, we haven't come to you for your fundamental multi-bagger pick today. You have picked a stock called Vishnu Chemicals.
That's right. So it's that chemical space that's been fairly exciting for us, and this is a leading player for a long time. It's been well established and known, but it's in the chromium chemical space, which is extremely special. Very few people actually participate in that domestically. So they basically make basic chromium sulfate, potassium dichromate, sodium dichromate, chromic acid. And just to make it simple, the applications are wide ranging again. So you have applications right from pharma to metallurgy, leather tanning, dyes, adhesives, ceramics, paints, pigments. So the company's been supplying to very marquee customers across all continents except for Antarctica, and a lot of business also goes to China, and that's in fact one of the reasons why the last couple of years have been slightly dull. What's exciting about this company's current state of affairs is it's already shown some very good profits for the first half. We've seen not only as the revenue, the top line, which was about 418 crores last year, it's already gone to 230 crores, which is an 18% YOY improvement. But the profitability has gone up 110% in that same period. So that operating leverage is now kicked in, which was not there till about early last year. So I think for the next few years, 3 years, if you even expect sales to grow at a 12% modest rate, the profits will grow at about 40-45%, and that's going to be the big change here. Interestingly, it's not even valued very expensively. On a FY17, FY18, let's say, because 17 is around the corner, 17 it's valued at about 15 times CMP. The CMP is discounted only 15 times the EPS, which we expected to be just at 12% incremental growth. When we spoke to these people, actually they said if things go well, we could start utilizing our 100% capacity. Right now it's just about 47%. And they could clock 1,000 crores of top line as well. So it's a decent company, 500 crore market cap, very strong dividend track record, very good governance, and they've established presence in all these markets. So I think it's a company that people will kind of start discovering, because this Make in India campaign is focusing a lot on putting these chemical companies on the forefront. So there you go, re-rating probably at 520 in the next 6 to 12 months should be a good bet.
All right, Prakash, thanks for giving us that fundamental idea.
Vinod, it's been a very cautious start. Any specific stock strategies that you want to speak about?
I have a lot of strategies, Lata, but good morning first. And first and foremost, I'd like to let's say tell you where I come from. There is a vast difference between the way FIs look at India and the way that we are looking at the Fed. The expectation that there will be 4 hikes in the US is just plain gas. I don't think there will be a hike before June, and the fact that, remember that the Fed has talked about 2 things. One is that they've said that there was a compulsion to raise rates primarily because it wanted to ensure that it has something to cut should a downturn happen in the global markets and in particular the US. And secondly, they've also talked about inflation. So that means...
Vinod, just hold on to that. Let's get back to our chat with our guests. Vinod, sorry for interrupting you. Let's start off with some of your picks that you've advised for the day. You have a couple of banking stocks on your radar. So tell us about Axis Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank, and what's the strategy there?
Yeah. The 2 stocks have been chosen for 2 different reasons. One is a long on Kotak Mahindra being one of the better banks where you are comfortable with in terms of taking a long positions because of its good assets. So there I have suggested buying the 780 call at around 11 rupees, stop loss at 7 with a target of around 20. And this is one stock which is relatively done better, 11% positions being built in the settlement and the stock being 1% higher. In case of Axis Bank, we have seen a 17%, let's say, build-up of short positions in the series. So we expect short covering to happen, and therefore this will stock the drive up. So I'm suggesting to buy the 445 call at around 10, stop loss at 7, with a target around 16. So this is a stock where some partial short covering had begun even yesterday.
Okay, and you actually have a bunch of mid-cap picks. So let's start with Century Textiles.
Century Textiles was one of those stocks which is near the support, and yesterday it went up by 3%. Mild positions built around 1%. So this is one stock we were fairly comfortable that this could do well today. I have suggested buying the 580 call with at around premium of 14, stop loss at 10, and a target of around 24.
Okay, by the way, the market has come off from the highs of trade, so now just 30 points higher. There's been some selling into the morning highs. TCS, M&M, HDFC, HUL are a couple of stocks that are trading in the red, and ONGC is your big loser, down about 1% odd. From the mid-cap space, you also have a strategy on Voltas today. Take us through that.
Voltas, I think what you've seen it is closed at almost 4-month high, and positions were built to the extent of 31% in this particular settlement, and the stock being 10% higher. So obviously you have to buy the 310 call at around 5.5 with a very tight stop loss at around 4 rupees. And it will still be better if you could buy it at a lower price than 5.5. Maybe if you buy it at around 3, then the stop loss can be 2. And have a target of around, let's say, 9 rupees in this.
All right, point taken. I know after the markets open, you have a little bit of difference in your entry price. Point taken. Vinod Sharma, thank you very much for joining us with all your picks. Let me get back to Sudarshan and the technical experts as well on the way the markets opened. Sudarshan, the Nifty, after going all the way beyond that 7,800 mark, has given up about 20 points. What would your Nifty strategy be? Continue your longs to run?
Yeah, see, this 1 or 2 minute volatility cannot be predicted and cannot be traded upon. This is market noise. The strategy is to stay long in the Nifty or to buy the Nifty. We raise our stops now and make it 77.30. That's all we do. Given the fact that the market has touched 7,800, there is no need to give up more money. So 7730 is our stop loss and we stay long.
Okay, so 77.30 is the stop loss. So you've raised it a little bit from 7,700 and stay long on this market. So since you are long on the market, Sudarshan, any fresh strategies that you've noticed? Because the mid-cap index is having a good traction this morning.
Yes, see, one of the stocks that traders could look for is Titan. Titan had a dull day, but it does appear that it's willing to go higher. So Titan, and the second is Ingenious India, which is already on a roll, and I think is probably willing to go, is going to participate in a rally if that rally comes about. So there are two stocks that we are watching, Titan and Ingenious India.
Okay, anything on PNB, SBI, BOB, all those three state-owned banks are up about 2%.
No, except for State Bank, which is a long-term buying opportunity. I wouldn't touch the other PSU banks. Let them be.
Okay, Prakash, finally, before we let you go, anything fresh that you've noticed to trade?
Yes, I have a couple of stocks. I'll start with ACC. That looks good to me. ACC, the way it's trading, looks like it can climb to levels closer to around 1380 zones. Stop below 1351. Second stock that I like is Federal Bank. Even Federal Bank is certainly looking good to me. And I would say that basically the target on the Federal Bank is somewhere closer to around 57 or so, stop below 54.
All right. Sudarshan, Prakash, thank you very much for joining us. But we'll take a rain check from you. We'll touch base back with you after a bit to check out how the market trading moves can be taken advantage of. With that, is it time to invite another market master?
All right, before that, in case you've missed out on any of Sudarshan's stocks for today, here they are. They'll just come up for you on your screen. He has 4 buy calls and 2 sell calls. The first one is on Infosys with a target of 1125 and a stop loss at 1080. The second is a buy on Lupin with a target of 1870 and a stop loss at 1800. He also has a buy on Marico with a target of 448 and a stop loss at 443. And his last buy call is one on Mindtree with a target of 1510 and a stop loss at 1450.